Hello and welcome to Chapter Skip. I'm Shaun.
I'm Chud.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Mark.
And welcome along to the Chapter Skip podcast. Now, this is technically podcast volume 21. Now, if you look through our videos, the list of videos that we've got, you might be thinking, well, where's 20? We had a little issue and a situation last week where we all sat around and we watched the latest instalment in the Sharknado extravaganza series, Sharknado 2, the second one, and we had about 5 different cameras set up. We all sat around, we watched the movie, we did a sort of like a commentary whilst it was going along.
We lost the will to live.
Yeah, we lost the will to live, and we all laughed a lot, we all cried a lot, we all shouted a lot. And I got it home, started editing it, and apparently my laptop couldn't take the amount of video footage that was there. So what I'm going to have to do is head back to it, chop it up into little pieces, render each piece, then render it as a massive piece, and hopefully we'll be able to release volume 20, the Sharknado Let's Watch version. Which was quite good when I was editing through it. There's a few funny bits where we're just pointing out the discount versions of big actors and various bits where people die. Spoiler alert, eaten by sharks, and we were just basically making fun of the movie, but in an entertaining way. So we'll hopefully bring you that in the next couple of weeks.
Probably the film was just too powerful, too amazing for your computer.
I think it was, yeah. Sharknado just ruined my laptop.
That was a lot of data we'd recorded.
There was, it was an hour and a half movie, and there were 5 different cameras. Well, I say camera setup. There was a main camera, there was a GoPro, then there was my phone, and then there was an iPad, and then you had a laptop.
I think just from my laptop that was just over 6 gig.
Yeah.
So
wow.
There was a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, so everything come out really well. Especially the main camera shot looked great. Everything was framed perfectly. Cut to different angles. It looked really good. The sound was as you'd expect from just a single microphone with us all sitting there. The TV didn't overpower anything. Come out all right. And it's just my laptop's not powerful enough. I need a bit more RAM, I think. So I'll get on that. I'll have to render it in pieces, and that'll probably take a couple of days. Do it overnight, and then do it while I'm at work, and all this kind of business. So, having watched Sharknado last week meant we didn't have any homework from the previous week, volume 19. So we haven't got any homework to talk about. So, did we want to maybe talk about Sharknado, or talk about anything we've watched or come across in the past 2 weeks?
So I've only just started to get over the trauma. Sharknado. You really have to.
You don't want to bring it back up?
See, I don't think it was as crap as the first one.
No,
it was still crap.
I know it was a more enjoyable viewing experience because we watched it as a group and we could all suffer together, but I think it was a better film.
I
wouldn't recommend it really.
I don't think I could have watched it by myself.
You've got to be in the right frame of mind.
In one sitting.
Yeah, definitely one to watch like you put on your tweet.
I'll took control of the Chapter Skip Twitter account, @ChapterSkip, if you want to follow us or tweet us. And I put out just like a mini review. I was like, we just watched Sharknado, the second one. It's a movie best watched with friends. Listen up, kids. Never Sharknado alone. And I thought that was quite an apt review. We all enjoyed ourselves because it was kind of silly. We could sit here and sort of like shout and be like, oh my god, that guy, And but I can imagine if I was sitting at home, I'd be there, resting my chin on my hand, kind of looking bored, thinking, when is this going to end? Which I can imagine you guys would be as well, face palming and
beating one off to pass the time.
Come on, Tara Reid!
Well, no, we're like jacking it to
That's going to be
skeleton.
off my rhythm.
For someone who's been in like a big film that done really well, American Pie and that and all the other films.
Oh, God.
Shut the door properly!
Oh, there we go.
I've sat in the doorway, that's the problem. Sorry about the noise, everyone.
Got it quite low.
I'm sitting on a rickety chair.
Causing a havoc here. What's going on?
Yeah, for a girl who's been in like a big, Hollywood film, like all the sequels, the American Pie
10
films.
years ago.
Yeah.
It was a long while ago.
She was like the worst actress.
I don't know, Kelly Osbourne was pretty shit.
Yeah.
She was only at the start, wasn't
She was very, I am reading from my lines with nothing.
And trying to be really English as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
Over the top English.
There was no emotion to what I am saying.
I'm a really big fan of your book. Can you sign my book?
It's definitely a film. Watch it with a group of like-minded friends. You'd enjoy it. I'm sure some people out there will probably even have Sharknado nights and they'll get together once a year and watch them both.
Of course they will.
I don't think I would. But
no, I can't. I didn't really get that much enjoyment from it. It weren't like anything happened. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but a bit shit. It was just a bit shit.
Yeah.
You know, nothing was really, really cool. There was probably a few bits that we made funny because one guy at one point is carrying a massive baseball bat and we were just ripping the piss out of him, just like, what the hell are you doing with a massive baseball bat? You know, and that was funny, but it was because we were all sitting here just kind of taking the piss, you know, and trying to predict things that were going to happen, which we got right most of the time, you know. Oh, he's going to jump over the sharks. Oh, he's jumped the shark. Oh, God, you know. He's going to do this, you know. Tari's going to have a disc cutter on her hand and hack up a shark. It was like, you kind of knew what was going to happen, but I think you had to go in with the right mind frame to know how the stupidity is going to be ramped up. So
at least something this time, at least something happened for you what didn't happen in the first film. Where you went through the...
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you must have been happy with that.
I was still... went all the way through the shark rather than...
Disappointed because they go on about... There's one Sharknado and it's going to collide with another Sharknado and be like, it's double the trouble. And then there's like a third one coming in, but it never actually did that. You're like, don't tell us 3 massive Sharknadoes are going to combine and then don't deliver.
So that's the problem I have with a lot of disaster movies. You always want it to happen, don't you? You want the end of the world to happen, but it never does. It's always disappointing.
And then, like, was it Shark Wind or something? Wasn't it called Shark Rain or something on the stupid weather forecast?
That whole like weather news thing was just hilarious. Just the way they're doing weather forecasts and they've got little pictures of sharks, you know, bringing in a cold front of sharks, you know, into New York City. It's like ridiculous.
Jesus. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing film. Fully recommend it.
It was better than some movies I've watched, you know. But it wasn't as good as other movies that we've all watched in the past couple of weeks. I say we've all watched. Mark, you...
Oh, I know what you're going to talk about.
You're sitting here in your little Marvel t-shirt. I don't see any Guardians on there, but myself,
no, there aren't.
Chud, well, actually watched it twice, and Joe, we've all been to see the latest instalment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Guardians of the Galaxy.
I am actually going Wednesday, so by the time this podcast is out, I watched it 2 days ago.
Alright, do you want to give a pre-review?
Oh, that raccoon was a bit dodgy, wasn't he? Sitting there licking his nuts all the time.
What do you think it ended?
Oh, it's amazing. That bit after the credits. Benicio del Toro. God, blimey.
No, he's been replaced by Brad Pitt now.
Yeah.
So, without giving any spoilers away, this will be a spoiler-free chat, because we don't want to ruin anything for Mark. And of course, people out there who haven't seen it and maybe want to take a trip to the local theatre to check out Guardians of the Galaxy. What did you think of it, Chud?
Fucking awesome.
That's the
thing.
thing.
I mean, I'd never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't realise it was a comic before. It was one of the ones that I think quite a lot of people were the same. Like, never heard of it before. So, but I thought it was fucking amazing.
Joe, what about you?
Fucking awesome.
Oh, doubly fucking.
Yeah, it's a double. No, it was really the same with Chud. I didn't know a lot at all about it, and just I'm not really like me and Chud were saying, I'm not really into sci-fi that much, like super into that stuff. And I just loved it. I just loved this. Obviously, I like my music, and I loved the soundtrack. I thought it was just brilliant. Everything was perfect about it. Really, yeah. Kept me fully entertained all the way through. You know, nothing really ever let up, and if it did let up, it weren't like, I'm so bored. Just some action there, please, and that. And it was just great. And my first time at the late cinema, our local cinema, that was amazing experience as well. So yeah, brilliant.
It was somewhat of a lighter tone as well. I think it was.
Yeah, more funny.
It was
yeah,
funny.
I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Like throughout.
It wasn't serious. It wasn't taking itself too serious.
Well, it was, but it was very light.
Yeah, it wanted that more like.
There was a few like sort of because obviously they've got to have a bad guy that comes across as threatening. You know, they've got to have a reason to do certain things. But it's like it was always followed up with something funny or a joke or a little quip or something like that, which I thought was really good, and it never overpowered it. Like some movies you can get. They're trying to portray the end of the world or something bad's going to happen, but then they're making light of it. It's a bit like, it kind of fit for these characters.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but...
So as it's like kind of an ensemble thing with like a group of heroes, how would it compare with, say, Avengers?
I've had a really tough time in trying to think if I like it more than the Avengers. A lot of people are saying it's better than the Avengers. But I think, I loved Rocket I absolutely adored Groot, and all the rest of the Guardians were great as well. But I think as an ensemble, like I don't really think you can beat Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor.
Just a little more recognisable.
I think so. Maybe I was invested more. You know, I'd already seen 2 Iron Man movies. I'd seen a Captain America movie. I'd seen the Hulk movie, Thor movie, etc. So I was a bit like, I've already got that backstory, so I didn't really need to think about finding out more into what the characters do, what their powers are, you know, where they're from, what their motives are. Whereas this one, you kind of reserved in that respect, 'cause you're a bit like, yeah, it's kind of cool. He's a massive sort of grey-looking guy with sort of red scarring on him. He looks like a badass, but what can he do?
They weren't like traditional superheroes, were they?
No. Well, because it's very spacey, isn't it? They're sort of just a bit alien,
I think that's
aren't they?
what appealed to me, so I love sci-fi, so I think for me, I probably would pick Guardians over Avengers. But it's very, very, very narrow, sort of slim sort of choice there for me.
I see someone on my Facebook said, "I just went to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. What a shit film!" I thought, "What?
What?
Like,
Did you unfriend them?
Yeah.
I was like, that is mental."
So my brother-in-law just posted on Facebook to say he's just been to see it and said it was awesome. So I'm like, you're right. I'm going to watch it soon.
I mean, for me, what I thought was
really
going to be
enjoy
what I thought was going to be the weakest part of the film, which was like Rocket, the recruiting. I saw the trailers and I thought, this seems a bit odd. And it actually ended up being one of my favourites.
Yeah, like some little crazy
like,
animal or something. You're like, oh god, here we go. It's going to be like some sort of like Disney sort of,
fantastically
like a proper
well acted,
Disney sort of crazy.
enough.
Hey?
It was fantastically well voiced, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought they was a great duo. You know, him and Groot. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like all 5 Guardians were all. They're different character, and it's that kind of thing. You know, you watch Star Wars, and you can pick out of the group. You know, you've got the muscle in Chewie, you know, you've got the quick-witted sort of kind of guy in Han Solo or whatever. I don't really know much about Star Wars, but you can kind of compare the groups to the Guardians. You know, you got the sort of the rebel one in Rocket, who's a bit sort of, you know, don't give a fuck, will do what he wants, and then...
The eye candy.
Yeah, eye candy, well,
so, again.
green eye candy.
Yeah.
And then you've got sort of... Drax, who's just kind of like...
The muscles and that.
Yeah, he's a bit like a muscle.
Chud, did you spot Nathan Fillion in the film? Because he's supposed to make an appearance, isn't he?
You know what, I heard that. No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
If I tell you who... I don't want to spoil it for Mark, but there's a part, you know... shut your ears for a second, Mark.
Oh, okay. Fingers are in.
Right, in the prison... in the prison...
Don't worry, go on.
There's a blue character. And he gets some things shoved up his nose.
Yeah, I know you mean, yeah.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you mean.
No, I definitely wouldn't have spotted that.
That's answered the question if he was
someone
going
else
to be in
is in
the
the
outfit then.
someone else is in the prison sequence who you really like.
Salma Hayek.
So I read on the trivia. I didn't notice, but
okay.
Someone you really like.
Oh, okay.
And then I want you don't read the trivia or nothing. Try and watch the
Danny
film.
Trejo.
And then no,
I know he's going to be in space soon.
If someone you really like, anyway. So,
okay. All
right. But don't read none of the trivia, obviously.
No, I'm not going to anything until.
And then I'll ask her afterwards.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so what we'll do next week on the podcast, we'll all come together and we'll do a more in-depth kind of spoiler cast esque kind of thing. And we'll all talk about it, our best bits, worst bits,
cool.
if there's any.
Thanks, guys.
Don't want to spoil anything for you, but I just thought, great characters, good story, decent villain.
Good effects.
Hilarious, amazing effects.
Yeah, just the artistic direction was...
I will say this, after the credits I wasn't just totally amazed.
No, that was probably the biggest letdown, to be fair. But
what?
Yeah. But, you know, it was a bit like, you expect it to, we won't go into that, but... Because, you know, if we talk about it now, Mark's going to go and say, oh, this is going to be shit, and then you'd be like, oh, it's awesome, but it depends how much you know and how much you care about this
particular
being.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
But I'm looking forward to, because they've announced Guardians 2, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to the potential of, you know, maybe the Guardians and the Avengers crossing over and seeing the, you know, maybe...
Mainly going to, aren't they?
Well, you know, you could probably have, you know, Star-Lord versus Captain America, which would be ridiculously awesome. You might have like Drax versus the Hulk, or Drax versus
that'd be nuts.
Drax versus
I
Thor.
presume when they're all going to team up and deal with the whole Thanos Infinity Gauntlet
you would
type
have,
thing.
you would have thought. But then you could have, Groot versus Hulk, or Groot versus Thor, or Iron Man, or whatever. Just that dynamic just gets me really excited, So I thought that was really, really good.
That's good.
I have watched a lot of films this week though, in regards to getting through my DVD collection and so on.
Okay.
So I'll give you a quick rundown in case there's something you've never seen and you fancy it for homework. With my daughter, we got her some couple of DVDs. So we watched Paranorman with her,
Right.
which is actually a really good kids horror film. Actually,
Okay. I've
spot
heard
on.
of it.
Yeah, that was that one a little while ago, wasn't it? Just a little
Where the
while
kid
ago.
talks to ghosts and then the zombies start attacking the town. It's done really
Was
well.
that anything to do with Tim Burton, or did he do something else?
I think the guy who did it was the one who directed Nightmare Before Christmas, which obviously Tim Burton stuck his fingers in. There's a
Was
little
it cinema a little while ago,
Burton-esque,
wasn't
but
it?
it's not.
Last year or something? Was it
Last year or year before, yeah.
Oh.
But it's actually pretty good. Fido, I watched the one I picked up from the car boot, the Billy Connolly zombie thing.
That's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Still enjoyed it, that's a keeper. Rango, which yes, it has got Johnny Depp doing the voice, but
Lizard.
if you like westerns, there's so many references to classic cowboy movies in there. It's really, really good.
Now, is Rango anything like Django? Or is it kind of just a bit...
Not
Just
just,
took the
the
name,
name
didn't it?
and almost the theme tune. When they're singing Rango. But it's actually really... It's not exactly one for kids. It's not brightly coloured and that. It's more... It is a animated movie for grown-ups who love cowboy films, really.
Because who directed that? It's somebody quite sort
The
of
one who does the
substantial,
Pirates of the
isn't it?
Caribbean. Gore Verbinski.
Is it?
Yeah, he
I
did
thought
it.
it was somebody else. I couldn't remember.
One that I've watched and I think I'm going to get rid of was Spawn, which some of you may have seen.
I've seen
Yeah,
Spawn. I
I've
enjoyed it.
I've
I only
watched it
seen.
years ago.
don't hold up now.
I only seen that like.
Nah.
I only seen that probably last year, and I
Right.
really enjoyed it.
I don't think that holds up.
With the man as the clan thing, and
He was good. That John Leguizamo.
I didn't know it was him. I was like, wow, because I like him.
He's like in a massive fat
Yeah.
suit and everything. It's like, I would not have known that was him
Yeah.
at all.
No.
And two other... I watched Wolf Creek 2.
Yeah.
Really like that.
Yeah, I thought you
good.
made. I did say that. I thought
was
you
a
made
good
my
film.
road movie, innit? Road horror movie.
But then
I
at the
thought
end
you
it gets to... I like where at the end he's got a guy as his prisoner and he starts like, I'll let you go if you can answer 10 questions. Or can I give you some questions on Australian history? And you get 5 and right, I'll let
An
you go.
English guy, isn't he?
And he's like, right, he's Australia's best cricketer. And the bloke's like, oh, fuck. And if he gets it wrong, he's going to like grind down one of his fingers.
Yes, it's really.
It was quite good.
Sounds shit.
And two other films I've watched, which second one of the last one of these I'll definitely recommend. First one was Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Oh.
Vinnie Jones.
It's really good. He don't say a
Doesn't
word,
speak in
does
the
he?
entire film.
That's
No.
fantastic.
That's great.
It's really good. The only thing that it's done, it was directed by Rihei Kitamura, who did Godzilla Final Wars and Versus. And I didn't realise the lead character is Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Never realised.
I never.
I sat watching it going, that bloke looks vaguely familiar. I'm like, oh fuck, it's Bradley Cooper. Never twigged. But yeah, it's pretty good. The odd bits with CGI gore, which never quite.
Yeah.
I remember
Guy
being
getting hit.
something a little bit jarring.
Ted Raimi gets hit on the back of the head.
Oh,
And his
yeah, 'cause
eyes
he's in
burst
it,
out.
yeah, that's it.
But the best thing I watched last week, which I'd seen before, was by Kim Ji-woon, who did Last Stand.
Yeah.
I Saw the Devil.
Okay.
Fucking excellent film. There's a serial killer, and does he? Oh, I can't wait if he kills someone that Kim Ji-woon's after. Kim Ji-woon's after him. Sorry. This detective's after him. He's got a personal reasons for it, and what he does for his vengeance, he manages to capture the guy, beat the shit out of him, and then stuffs a tracker down the guy's throat whilst the bloke's unconscious, so he can then let the guy go, let him have a little head start, and then go after him and keep beating the shit out of him again. That's really, really good. There's a few brutal moments in there where you kind of like, wow, I can't see where the cutaway is, where the bad guy's got a pipe and he starts smacking someone in the skull with it. You're like, geez, that's really full on. But really good film. There we go. That was a quick rundown there of my week.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Lovely jubbly. I rewatched the Lego Movie. I
Oh,
thought
I
that
love
was,
that film.
again, really awesome.
Great film.
And it just goes to show how much I'm kind of falling in love with Chris Pratt. You know, after the second viewing of Lego Movie, being like, yeah, you do an awesome voice, and then watching Guardians again, be like, yeah, you're even more awesome. And then I saw something posted on Facebook. Apparently Chris Pratt was doing some like promotional stuff for Guardians, and he went on this radio station, and he just started like rapping. I was like, you're welcome. I don't know why. It was just like, you just seem like a really, really, really cool guy.
But actually, there is one other thing I rewatched which came out today on DVD, was the Raid 2, of course. And I've brought Chud a copy because he's not seen it yet. after watching it again, I'm like, you know what, I think it's my favourite film of the year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot, because like I said, the first time I watched it, I was a bit tired and wasn't really
Yeah.
focused on it, and now I could see it and watch it properly. I'm like,
It's a long
yeah,
film.
I love it. Awesome.
See, now when I watch movies, I'm kind of comparing the fight scenes to that, and everything just seems a bit lackluster.
Yeah.
You know, when you get these fight scenes where it's just full of cuts and, you know, shaky cam and, you know, weird angles where you can't really see what's going on, whereas in the Raid 2 it's just like, right, that guy got like punched in the chest and you know it, got kicked in the head, you know it, whereas like you watch other movies and it's a bit like, oh, what's, where am I? Where?
But there's odd moments in Raid 2 I'm like watching it and going, holy shit, that was all one shot. And it was like it went from one fight and then flowed to another bit and went in the bit in the prison. I'm like, I need to stop, rewind this and appreciate that one shot fight again because it was fucking awesome.
I love that in the mud and that's awesome.
And some of the effects, you kind of like, shit, that was amazingly brutal. Just going to rewind that a little bit there. Yeah, okay. I think, and it's Hammer Girlie's death, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh no, the boy speaks and because he's like, give me my ball back. That's right.
Yeah.
Great. Does he have a giant baseball bat?
Almost, yeah.
No, he don't.
What about you guys? Have you watched any movies? Chud and Joe?
I watched Kick-Ass 2. Yeah, Joe picked up on DVD. I quite liked the first one, but I wasn't in a rush to go out and get the second one.
Really?
It was pretty good. It's on par with the first one. I thought it was.
Yeah,
enjoyable.
I thought they were
I
the
thought Jim
same.
Carrey was actually really good.
Not what he was
his
great.
voice was just like you couldn't tell that. Obviously, you can look at him and see it's Jim Carrey, but
No, I
it didn't
couldn't,
sound like
because
him.
I don't really like Jim Carrey. It's not a name that makes me want to go and see a film. But then
Yeah.
watching that, I'm like, doesn't really look like him, doesn't really sound like him. Then it made me think, why have him? But no, he was good in that as well,
Yeah.
despite the fact he then was a dickhead about the film.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
I don't
funny,
know,
yeah. Well, in America there was that high school or primary school shooting, weren't there? And this was about the time that Kick-Ass 2 was about to come out, and obviously when the movie's about to be released, all the film stars go on the media circuit, don't they? And they promote the movie, but he refused to do it because the movie was somewhat violent and he didn't want to kind of disrespect the people that lost their lives in that sort of thing. It's like, it's completely different. This is literally comic book
There's
violence.
reality and fantasy.
Yeah, and like, I don't think he doesn't use a gun in that movie, does he? And I don't think
But
many...
then he starts saying, oh, we didn't know the film was going to be that violent, and like, he smacks someone in the face with a baseball bat.
Yeah, and you get
What
your
the
dog
fuck
to
did you
chomp
think?
on a guy's balls,
Yeah.
you know? It's like,
What'd you
I know
expect?
it's kind of funny and stuff, but you know what you're getting in for if you're going for the movie and you shoot the movie, yeah, surely. Yeah.
There was going to be a rumour of a third one, apparently that's been... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was
Go on then,
literally going to
news there already,
I was going to segue into that.
I
I was like, Chud, brilliant, you've done me some work here. I don't have to make a really, really awkward segue. Yeah, Kick-Ass 3 remains a possibility. Would you guys be up for watching number 3?
Today, that's now not going to be as likely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I read that just today. So,
yeah, well, the news I got today, I don't know when this is from. This is from the 10th, so it's like a couple.
it's only
yesterday. So
days,
maybe they've updated it today. But yeah, they're sort of saying that they're thinking about doing a trilogy. Number 1 made a shit ton of money. Number 2 made an arse load of money. So maybe number 3 will make like a balls load of money. Yeah,
Cockload of money.
you know, probably not as much. But
Nice one.
but so what have you heard? Basically, it's not.
I just saw a headline on a site somewhere, I can't remember what it was, but they were saying like the Evil Dead 2 remake probably not going to happen now because the upcoming Evil Dead TV series, which I think Sam Raimi's producing, Bruce Campbell's going to be in, and at the same time it said, and talking of bad news sequel wise, like don't look like Kick-Ass 3's as likely as it was. So, I don't know. I didn't really read into the article.
Yeah,
at
I
the
guess
time,
it's a
but
kind of watch this space kind of thing.
It'd be nice if it does happen.
And speaking of movies that people want to happen, you messaged me on Facebook a couple of weeks ago.
Was this a trailer that I
And
was...
it came out of Comic-Con.
Oh, right, okay.
It got leaked.
Oh, yeah.
The sort of animated CGI Deadpool trailer. Did you see this
I'll see
trailer?
that, yeah. That's really good.
I don't know if it got leaked out of Comic-Con or where it got leaked, but it came out the same sort of time. And this it's been made for a couple of years, and it's voiced by Ryan Reynolds, because obviously people were a bit like, well, after the, you know, the awfulness of X-Men Origins Wolverine, they were a bit like, yeah, we don't really want Ryan Reynolds, but I think this must have either been shortly after, and it's a proper version of Deadpool, and they, you know, it got leaked online, and people were just like, this is the Deadpool we want. He's been waiting
fucking
for.
awesome. It even sounded like how I think Deadpool should sound.
Yeah.
It was like, this is fucking brilliant.
Just, satirical, piss-taking.
And the whole thing in the trailer, it starts off with him, he's doing a sketch.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when the car flips over that guy and he's there and he's holding up the sketch of him cutting the guy's head off, and then he does it, and it was like, it just flows fucking
it's just that whole thing. He's just walking along a bridge, and he's talking to the camera because Deadpool sort of breaks the fourth wall, doesn't he?
He's mentally insane. So in his head, he thinks he's in a film, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he sees like a car full of bad guys, and he sort of jumps off the bridge, doesn't he? He lands in the car, and he's like, I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but I'm pregnant. It's just like, what? This is kind of weird. And then, he starts like beating the shit out of it, and then goes into a really cool slow motion thing where the car tumbles over, and that's where you get to see him holding up this picture, like crayon little
picture. There was a guy on a motorbike in front of him. The guy just like ditches his bike, stands up, pulls out a machine pistol or something, whilst the car's tumbling. And as it flies over the guy, he's there going...
Yeah, like showing the picture,
like a picture of me cutting your head off,
and then the car rolls over, and then it stops, and he's got the head in his hand, and it's like
he's holding up the head out the window, going, "Crime is the disease, and I'm the cure." And he's going, "Well, more of the topical ointment, but anyway, it's like, this is fucking brilliant."
So, Rhett Reese, who I don't know whether he's the guy that I think he's the writer, and he co-wrote Zombieland, so he knows how to write pretty good humour, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He hit Twitter this past week. And he's sort of doing like a grassroots campaign. He wants the people to get behind him to get this made, because the people at Fox, they're a bit like, why would we make Deadpool? He's not an established character. He probably won't make a lot of money. Let's just keep, churning out bloody Avatar and X-Men movies. Yeah. Not that I'm complaining about X-Men movies. Maybe Avatar. But they're probably thinking it's not really going to make much money. But Rhett Reese, at Rhett Reese, if you want to tweet him to say, yes, make this bloody movie. He says, Team Paul needs your official vote of support. Let's break the internet. Retweet if you'd like to buy a ticket to the Deadpool movie. So I think that would be...
I need to do that.
Be quite cool. So he's hoping that if there's a bit of an internet stir, people on the internet can make things happen, like potato salad and stuff like that,
Snakes on a plane.
Snakes, and
possibly Dread 2.
Yeah, so if people can hit the internet, hit Twitter, and tweet the people of Fox, or retweet Rhett Reese's tweet, we may get a Deadpool movie in the future. And I was listening to a couple of guys doing a podcast about it, and they were sort of saying it's probably good that the Fox guys aren't behind this movie, like shoving millions of dollars, into it, because if it has that almost indie feel to it, that almost, right, we've got X amount of money, it's not a lot, but we can probably do a lot with this money and just really make it, funny and possibly, gory. If you could be cutting people's heads off, and just a bit slapstick, a bit kind of just out there.
Yeah, it's got to be over the top. It's got to be a little bit crude because he's all about the boobs and stuff. And
so and
sounds like my kind of guy.
And I think
technically insane, likes breasts. Yeah.
I think the general consensus is that people probably wouldn't mind Ryan Reynolds either playing him or at least voicing him.
The voice sounded spot on.
Yeah, because he's got that kind of, I guess, a sort of fast-talking, quirky, sort of a bit like. Yeah, how you'd expect if you read the comic, you'd be like, yeah, I can imagine Ryan Reynolds voicing him.
Definitely. I think it's from playing the video game as well. I don't know who voiced him in that, but they sounded quite similar. I'm like, yeah, that's how I imagine Deadpool sounds.
So you would buy a ticket to the Deadpool movie?
I certainly would. In fact, I need to get on that Twitter campaign or whatever and stick my voice in there. That wasn't the only video I linked to you last week, though, was it? There was a trailer for something which I got the impression you were surprised I was a fan of it.
We're talking about...
Everyone's favourite undersea yellow cuboid.
Of spongy texture.
Yeah. The trailer was fucking awesome. I loved it.
I'm so over Spongebob Squarepants.
Oh, it still makes me laugh. I like the stupid logic of they go swimming at the beach whilst they're in the sea, and then they're like, help, I'm drowning, and you're like, you're a fucking fish in the sea that's in a sea, and you've got a campfire. Oh my god.
I think it's brilliant.
See, like probably 5, maybe 7 years ago, there was this like underground
undersea
cult following of SpongeBob, where like you go to like a gig and all the emo teens wearing like SpongeBob backpacks and little clips in the hair of SpongeBob. It's like that's a kid's show, but it kind of gained that cult following just through sheer stupidity, I thought.
And
I was a bit like...
directors as Ren and Stimpy in that as well, which is cool, isn't it? Same guy who made Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, it's the same animation style.
Which I think is amazing.
But then after that, I was a bit like, yeah, it's alright, but it got a bit too stupid for me. It's like, yeah, SpongeBob's an idiot, then Patrick's an even bigger idiot, and I was just like, I can't be dealing with this. It's making me feel dumber, which I was very surprised that you actually enjoyed SpongeBob.
I haven't watched SpongeBob in ages, but I saw that trailer and I was like, yeah, I like this.
I can imagine it's going to be a hit because
It just looked...
It's SpongeBob, isn't it?
Yeah.
I liked the movie, I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, it was good.
David
Hasselhoff, yeah.
That's funny.
So I was thinking maybe you kind of liked it because you obviously got a young daughter, so your experience.
I seem to remember you saying something about this before Aaron was born. Maybe.
I
We were
actually...
at work.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'd actually-
You didn't have kids then.
Me and my best man actually watched SpongeBob on the morning of my wedding. We was writing our speeches whilst watching SpongeBob. So,
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, who
Oh, who lives in a pineapple?
who lives in a pineapple under the sea? That's
I
right.
can't hear you. Oh, God, I know how.
Mark's getting married. Yeah, I'm not really sold, but I think it's going to be a massive hit.
And
Kids
it's
are
out on
gonna
March
love
the
it.
20th, which is 5 days after my birthday, and I think technically it'll be a birthday treat that my daughter will be taking me to instead of me taking her to.
Holding your hand,
Yeah.
walking you to the
I showed her the
cinema.
trailer and she was like, yeah, I want to see this. Like, brilliant, you're going.
Have you got a SpongeBob t-shirt?
Because otherwise you going in
SpongeBob
cinema on your
t-shirt.
own is going to be weird.
No, I've only got a not very suitable SpongeBob t-shirt. Someone got me with him boozing and it's got like Drunk Bob piss pants, I think.
Have you seen the picture online of Tom Araya, like the singer from Slayer with a SpongeBob?
No.
Yeah, that's t-shirt on, that's pretty awesome.
Raining sponge!
Raining sponge. Suppose better than raining pants.
Raining pants.
Rain pants.
Angel of Sponge.
Angela Sponge. Going back to superhero-y bits, did you guys know that in 2015, I think it is?
I did.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I think it might be 2016 now, actually. No, 2016 is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured it would happen.
In like
after
2 years'
2015,
time.
Yeah. Just before 2017.
Almost, probably 700 odd days is going to happen, right? And during that year,
Which year now are we talking about?
2016, I think.
Okay, oh right, 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's far off, man.
It is. But I'm talking about probably the first half of the year. There was going to be an almost head-to-head combat of Marvel and DC. Did you guys hear that Captain America 3 and Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice were both going to release on the exact same day?
Oh right, okay.
Which, like, people are like, that's a really dumb move. Some people are like, yeah, it's dumb for Batman and Superman because people are going to be like, Captain America was awesome, and we've seen 2 of his movies already. We want to see more of it. But then other people are like, we've already seen 2 of Captain America's movies. We want to see Batman v Superman.
I don't think it matters because most people go,
See,
oh,
both
go and
of
watch both.
Yeah, I'd be like, right, 1 ticket to Captain America, please, then come out, do a loop. 1 ticket to Captain
No one goes to see only one film in the summer, surely.
Yeah, that's right. But, people were wondering who was going to crack first. Who do you reckon, DC or Marvel?
DC.
Probably DC, yeah.
Well, you guys would be right, yeah. After the dates were released, apparently everyone was wondering who was going to crack, and Warner just decided to do the sensible thing for everyone and move their film to March 25th, 2016. So they're doing it before Captain America, which is due on May 6th, 2016. Do you think it's better putting the movie before, or what do you reckon?
Just to hear it.
You're not really too worried?
I'm not
Right,
really
that's different.
worried. I'm going to go and watch them regardless.
I
So.
suppose it's how they...
But I'm going to go and watch Captain
the money.
America regardless. Batman, Superman will depend on the trailers. I didn't think much of the last Batman film. Superman was a bit meh. William Cavill looked fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, shit, man, you're Superman. But the film was a bit meh.
Yeah.
I've never been overly fond of Superman. I don't
A
think.
bit too goody two shoes.
Yeah.
But I still say he killed more innocent people in that film than Zod did.
Yeah.
Straight away, he punched him into like a petrol station that exploded. And like, wow, Superman, you've just killed like 50 people. Well done, you douche.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are really down on that movie, saying obviously about the destruction and the chaos and whatnot. And people are maybe speculating that Batman is going to be the hero that people deserve, you know, and come in and be like, right, you fucked up Metropolis, don't be a dick, right? I'm going to start building it because I've got loads of money. And then Superman's going to be like, what the fuck you doing? I own this town, bitch. And then Batman's going to be like, psh, I own this town, bitch. Have a little fight. And then Lex Luthor's probably going to come along and be like, psh, my town, bitch. And then they'll both be like, let's team up. All right, cool. Let's that woman over there, she looks pretty good.
I still can't
let's
see
get her.
how Batman's going to threaten Superman.
I just actually, let's say Superman surely will just crush him.
Or maybe it's
Just
Just like flick him on the forehead and catapult him through a building.
Or maybe he's, you know, maybe apparently they've released pictures of him in some like armour suit or something. So maybe
There was one film where Superman flew around the Earth backwards to make time go fucking backwards, didn't he? For God's sake.
well, maybe Batman
What
like
was it? Batman like it was like not walking properly. Was he in the? Was it in the? Was it in the Bane film? Was it in the one with Bane?
What did
When he
they
had
do,
that,
Wendy?
when he had the skeleton thing to help his legs and that one.
Oh yeah, his
Yeah,
back
but-
broken.
yeah, but it's
wasn't
not
it?
follow,
yeah.
it's not following on from that.
It's not following on
a,
from that, it's just
a
completely new, isn't it?
Yeah, I assume it's going to be like a complete revamp.
No, because he was dead at the end, or possibly in France, depends.
So yeah,
One of the two.
unless Batman's like, this is my town, bitch. Look at my little green rock, and Superman's like, fuck off, it's my town, but get that rock away from me. And then Lex Luthor's like, hey, I once played the Facebook guy, but now I'm Lex Luthor. And they're like, what are you doing? He's like, it's my town, bitch. And then they like beat him up, and they're like, hey, look at that girl over there. She's pretty wonderful. We'll call you Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Look at that guy swimming in the sea. Aquaman, come on.
Seaman.
Seaman, come over and hang out with us, and you know, maybe in a couple of years' time we'll make a Justice League movie.
If that film's going to be just how you acted that out, I don't think it's going to do very well. I think people are going to fucking hate
I
it.
think they should do, like
And
I
what
think
is
I
it
said
about?
before, lesser known DC characters. But like they're doing with Deadpool, kind of like bringing the more unusual ones, because people might be like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Solomon Grundy. Oh, that's quite an interesting character.
Oh, fucking hell, that's really obscure, that one.
So obscure, I don't even
I'd have gone with Lobo, because that's just, I think I've mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Plastic Man, although, because at least, like, that stretchy power that Mr. Fantastic has is fucking creepy. At least Plastic Man was a fucking weirdo in the DC universe. Because that is a weird fucking power to
It is
have.
a little bit.
It is pretty creepy.
the possibilities, eh?
Long and thin, though.
I was thinking with hands, but yeah, I suppose you could stretch that as well.
Oh
And
god, it's turned into Mallrats, isn't it?
I was going to say we're about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes into the podcast, and that's probably the first mentioning of penises. So
No, I
I think we've done pretty well.
I didn't say penis.
Well, you implied penis.
Plastic penis.
I did watch I finally got around to watching the From Dusk Till Dawn series this week. Have you guys watched it all yet?
I've seen most of them,
Oh,
then I
like two
got
episodes
a bit
to
bored.
watch.
I didn't. I
Yes.
really fell out of it with the last two
I
episodes.
got a bit
Oh,
bored.
well,
That's where
well,
I stopped. I stopped around that
I like
time.
the first 4 or 5 episodes. Like the whole
Yeah.
snake thing was quite different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Richie, I was like, I quite liked him. He had the
Yeah.
right bit of slightly psycho and
Yeah.
not sure.
And I like they sort of explain things from the films a
But-
bit. I was enjoying that. Like why he's a bit mad and that.
Unlike Fargo, which I could watch without getting around,
yeah.
oh, it's not the same person in the film. I couldn't really do that with From Dusk Till Dawn. It was like,
Right. I did like sex and shit.
Jake Busey is sex
Yeah.
machine, didn't
I
quite work.
wasn't
Yeah,
too
no,
keen on that.
And the bloke at the door with the whole pussy lovers, like, nah.
Yeah.
And they toned down a lot of it. The gore was still there, but a lot of the language was like right at the start when Michael Parks was like, "Oh, I'm sick to my stomach. That goddamn mongoloid has been feeding, you know, this sort of thing." And in this one, it's like, "Oh, I wasn't going to eat there because her kid's doing the cooking. I don't think he washes the beans properly."
Yeah,
that's not the same as you moaning about a mongoloid. You need to be that bit more un-PC about it.
Yeah,
But the
I got
last
a
two
bit bored
episodes,
of
I
that.
think, flopped completely.
Dragged
for
a
them.
bit, didn't it? Yeah.
But it's suddenly done a whole thing where it's in his mind and he has to relive the heist he got caught on. But they present it's a snake
Yeah, I
thing,
can
isn't it? Now
see
It's
that,
not.
yeah.
They're not like traditional vampires. They do
Yeah,
snake
yeah.
fangs
Yeah.
and venom.
Yeah.
Venom. She has fucking wings at one point, and at the end you're like,
Oh, I don't know.
you're a snake goddess. Where did the big fucking
Yeah.
bat
I
wings
sort
come
of
from?
fell
You
out
kind
and
of
got
fucked
bored
your
of
own
it,
logic
I
out
did,
the fucking
Yeah,
window.
she's sexy.
She was pretty hot, wasn't it? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she did look good, but it just fizzled out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I was annoyed because I really got into it at
Yeah.
first.
I-
Same as you.
I think it had a lot of potential. I mean, I started the first couple of episodes and
Yeah.
really got into
Yeah.
it. And then, like, maybe a little bit earlier than you did, Mark, I kind of petered out a little bit. And I was just like, and I watch them now and again.
Yeah,
Like I said, I've got
that's
2
it, yeah.
episodes left.
Because I marathon like 7 episodes
Well, I
in a
wasn't
day.
marathoning. I was watching it like when it come out each week on Netflix,
right.
and
I
then,
did
and
that
then I
with
just
Falcon.
got sort of bored. You know, it's got quite
a marathon like 7 in a day,
Mm.
and then them last 3 were just, and then especially the last 2, it was just like, this ain't gonna go anywhere for me. And at the end, I was like, I don't really care. I don't think I'd watch a second series.
I've been watching Sons of Anarchy. I'm on the 2nd season now,
cool.
and I'm enjoying that because I was starting getting a bit bored of that. I did, but it's sort of jumped up again, and it's
I've only watched
sitting
the
quite
first
good. Yeah, it's
5 episodes. I
okay.
think, where they had a circus come to town, and one of them there was a paedophile clown or something.
Yeah.
Didn't they all?
No, I watched all that first series, and it ends quite good. And then you think, oh, they're going to follow it on. Why didn't it end? Like, I mean, I don't know. Should I say what happened? I don't know.
I've not seen it, so
No
one's seen it yet.
So yes, and it's just like, what? Why not just end that there? But it's carried on, and it's sort of, it's going good.
Series 7 just started, which is the last series.
I think it is. Yeah, it's good. It's just alright. I'm enjoying it. It's good fun.
I need to check it out.
Speaking of TV shows, anybody here potentially Chud, potentially Joe, probably not Mark.
I know. I know what you
a fan of the UK Office and the character of David Brent.
Yeah,
Definitely not me, no.
Chud?
Yeah.
Well, it was released a couple of days ago. Apparently they're planning a David Brent Life on the Road, almost spoof, sort of rockumentary movie about him.
Awesome.
This means nothing to Mark. He's shaking his head there.
Free love and the free love.
I saw one episode of The Office and it was just shit. I hated
Did you watch the American one?
His character was just a complete cunt.
That's the
basically.
thing.
And he's like that in real life. I'm like, you're just a twat. I don't like you at all. I can't find anything funny in the bloke at all, ever.
Go get my guitar.
Can't find him do anything that I think is humorous.
Well, that's fair enough. You won't be in the cinema watching the David Brent movie, as
I'd
I
like
won't
to see him
be.
choke on a live squirrel.
As I won't be there, watching another squirrel in the form of SpongeBob Squarepants. But for the people here sitting on the sofa, excluding Mark on your little rickety chair, they're going to make a David Brent movie, and apparently, according to Brent, he's kind of playing the character. As you do. It'll be like Scorsese filming The Rolling Stones. It's been 11 years since we last saw Brent on the TV screens, unless, you count his appearance in The American Office. And
was he in that? Was he?
Just a small sort of cameo. And basically he's watched movies like Alan Partridge, Alpha Papa, the In-Betweeners movie, which they've just released another one of, In the Loop and stuff like that. And they've seen how far TV sort of show characters can go and make a lot of money, and I'm all for it. I think it's
been 11 years since the series.
Yeah.
See, in that 11 years, you three are the only 3 people I've ever met that actually like
Really?
Ricky
I think
I know
it's
quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone who said
he's
like
very opposing.
I'm not a fan really of the
It's like
what's
Marmite,
that
I
TV?
think,
I can't remember what it's called now. There's the latest one where he's got many.
Well, people
Probably,
love him
yeah.
or they hate him.
What's
But
that?
I don't know any
I'm
middle
not
ground
really a
really.
fan of
I
Derek
quite
that
like
much.
people who are cunts. I quite like Simon Cowell because he's just a complete cunt.
Oh, I don't know about
No, but
Gordon
I get
Ramsay
where you're
I
coming.
like.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay's awesome.
Yeah.
That's different.
that. Did you like Derek? Used to it.
I love Derek. I thought it was
I got
brilliant.
into it at the start, but I'm not really into the
liked
new
it.
ones really.
But like
Got a
the
bit
thing
bored
with
of that.
Derek was you expect that kind of Gervais humour, that sort of him being an idiot, but he's playing this sort of almost retarded kind of guy who just cares for these old people, and you have to see the sweet side in it. You can't go in expecting to have a laugh a minute or cringe along.
I watched the early series and that, but I just didn't enjoy this one that really. So
I thought series 2 was as
It was
strong.
lacking Carl Pilkington, which I was a bit like.
Probably.
The thing with Gervais is, to me, he's got a very punchable face. Every time I see him in something, I just get a little bit angry. I nearly didn't watch. What was the Neil Gaiman thing? Something or other.
Stars in the Rise.
Stardust, yeah. I nearly didn't watch that because Gervais was in it, and I was like, I'll sit through it. Fuck, he's only in it for 2 minutes. Brilliant. But it was close call because I just really something about him that I just really just looking at him.
Do you like Carl Pilkington?
I don't think I've watched anything he's in because that association has put me
I
off.
think you'd like him.
There's something about
by
him I
association.
just don't like.
No.
Yeah.
But that's for you like who you like, and I think most of us will probably go and watch it. Should it be made? It looks like it's going to be in the works. Anything Ricky Gervais does, I normally like.
I like his stand-up.
Yeah, stand-up's good.
nice.
Series are pretty good. Did a couple of American movies that were okay, like Ghost Town was all right.
The
The Invention of the Line I thought
enjoyed
was a great concept,
I
but
really
it was a
like
bit
the
like,
concept,
it was good, but then it wasn't good, but it was alright, it had a good concept.
He's not a terrible actor either, is he?
No, have you guys
atrocious.
seen Cemetery Junction?
Yeah, great film.
I thought it was an amazing movie.
Yeah, really good film.
But
I've not seen it.
No, but that it's
I mean,
a
he's
movie.
not in it loads.
No, he's in it like
loads.
in a really small part.
Loads.
And I just thought it was quite sort of. I think he does
Put a light on,
heartwarming.
Joe. Sorry, can I put a light on?
Oh yeah.
That's very
No, I got my penis out.
No, I ain't got it.
I like to
Yeah,
We're sitting in the darkness doing this podcast.
Nights in the Museum, no, not really.
No. But yeah, there's another TV show that apparently is going to return. Now, Mark, you're probably like, never heard of it. Joe's like, yeah, I meant to watch it. And Chud's like,
yeah.
I haven't watched the 4th series. Arrested Development.
I've
Yeah, I
heard of it.
love it.
You've heard of it?
I've heard of it. That's about it.
Have you heard anything good about it?
No, I've just heard the name.
It's brilliant.
Oh, you watched it, you don't?
Wasn't it
I've seen
American? Was it
a few of
American
them.
thing?
Have
Wasn't
you?
I've seen a few of them,
They're
yeah.
really, really
it?
good.
Is it an American thing?
Yeah.
That's what I probably know
Jason Bateman, Will
I'm not
Arnett,
saying-
Michael Cera.
I've
It's
not seen them all, but what I've
American
seen, I've really
sitcom
enjoyed.
humour.
Yeah, I'm not an American sitcom guy.
No,
I love the
it's-
dude
it's
on
not-
the thing.
I
What's his
think it's
name on
quite.
there?
It's
Oh,
the
I'm
same
not
as
a sitcom
Curb Your
guy in general,
Enthusiasm.
really.
They're quite popular over here because it's a different kind of humour. It
What's his
appeals
name on
to English people, I think.
What's that called? That film?
Segway.
Segway, yeah, I like him, that character.
I was thinking it not long ago. So I'm not really a sitcom guy, and I was trying to think which ones I like, and I realised it's only stuff that's been written by Gray and Linehan, I think, because like Black Books, The
Yeah, I love
IT
Black
Crowd,
Books.
and Father Ted. Like, yeah, I love those shows. Well, I suppose you like Young Ones and stuff like that, but nothing else. There's certainly not. I wouldn't. There's no sitcoms from America. I think of them like. Oh, I've got to watch that.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, I think
Jewish
It's on the
humour.
board guy, innit?
Yeah.
out of, yeah, but then again, I think you'd probably think of Larry David in the same vein as Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
You'd probably want to punch him.
That was one of his, that's who he liked, one of his influences, wasn't it? Ricky Gervais' influence,
Yeah.
Larry David, so.
It's one of those. I think I've seen the cover to Curb Your Enthusiasm, and it was just like even that just didn't appeal to me for some reason. It's one of those things I'd look at and put it back on the shelf.
I think
move
it's
along.
something you'd probably have to, like, you wouldn't be able to get the gist of the show, maybe if you watch 2 or 3 episodes, but I think you'd have to probably watch at least, like, season 1 to get the kind of feel for the character and the way the stories develop throughout the series, and just, is that kind of character who does something and then it will come back around to kick him in the arse later on in the episode, and you're a bit like, oh, I kind of didn't see that one coming, and there's a
Yeah, I
lot
like
of
the
sort
way they do that.
of, you know, odd themes in there. Like, for instance, I think you get a kick out of this. I think it's his wife's auntie dies, and they entrust him to write the eulogy in the paper, and he writes to the paper, blah blah blah, we've lost our beloved aunt, and they print in the paper, beloved cunt. Like, it's a typo, A-U-N-T-C-U-N-T, and they'll have a go at him, and it's just like, he's like, I didn't write beloved cunt, and like, Larry, why would you write beloved cunt in the paper? He's like, I didn't mean to! But I just thought that was a particular highlight of one of the season. And
There's no canned laughter.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
And
that's one of those things that really annoys me.
And-
it's the same with Arrested Development. There's no canned laughter.
And one thing about Curb Your Enthusiasm, which you don't get in a lot of shows, and you probably don't notice, the characters within the show actually laugh at jokes within the show. Because if you watch things like Friends or, I don't know, any other kind of American sitcom, you know, somebody would make a joke and then the crowd would laugh, but the characters in the thing would be like, oh, okay. You know, but if you cracked a joke, for instance, we would all piss ourselves laughing. You know, we make note of that. In Curb Your Enthusiasm, they actually, like, Larry David will make a joke or whatever, and he'll start laughing, and people will start laughing. It's like, you never really notice that until somebody points it out to you.
I never noticed.
But sometimes that don't always work. Like like the Cinema Sins did for one of some fucking Adam Sandler type things, and it's always like the characters start laughing because that's your cue to laugh in the film. It's like, oh look, we've done something funny.
Yeah, but grown-ups.
It can go. Yeah, that was it. Grown-ups. It can go the other way as well. And be
Yeah, that's I
I
don't
always
really
think
want to talk
that's what
about that.
canned laughter's for stupid audiences that need to be told when to
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah. So, Arrested Development, it got the 4th season exclusively on Netflix. Now, you've not seen it, have you, Chud?
I haven't seen
I've
that,
seen it
no.
up there, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it didn't exactly, like, thrill everyone. It was a mixed kind of bag of opinions. I quite enjoyed it because it was weird because, like, each episode almost had it focused on a particular character, but every episode intertwined and interlocked, like something happened in the first episode. You'd be like, well, that's just kind of random, but then something else leading up to that would happen in the second episode, and you're a bit like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And apparently they did that because of like schedule juggling and stuff like that. They had a lot of people, like Jason Bateman is obviously a big star, Will Arnett's, you know, pretty massive now, you know, Michael Cera, etc. and whatnot. So yeah, they're hoping to do, I don't know if it's going to be a 5th series or whether it's going to be a movie, which they've talked about for at least 5 to 10 years. They keep going on about Arrested Development movie, but it may just be a Netflix series. But you know, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm happy for that. But then again, Mark, you have no opinion on that.
But I did pick up a comedy DVD this week.
OMG!
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I hate that stuff as well.
Yeah, I know, right?
The
That's
stupid
why I said it.
abbreviations.
Hashtag YOLO.
I went into Poundland. I got annoyed the moment I walked in because they've got a little announcement thing going on. They're going, in Poundland today we've got water pistols, screen protectors, another cheap tat. You'll be amazed at what we've got for £1. And I'm thinking, I won't be. You're fucking Poundland. I'm not going to be amazed by the fact that it's a fucking pound.
Yeah.
So I was in this grump straight away, and I was like,
It don't take much, does it?
I don't really. I'm just like, you can't. So what the fuck, you know? So I'm in a grump.
God damn, you said this stuff for a pound.
You're like, fucking hell, it's only £1. You get home, they break straight away anyway. They disintegrate as soon as you get in the fucking
Nothing in
shop.
there's going to amaze me that it's £1 because I'm like, yeah, this is cheap shit. And then I thought, oh, I'll let them off because I picked up Bill Bailey's stand-up DVD from last year, I think, Qualm Peddler.
Okay.
I've
I've only watched the first half hour, and it's really, really good.
You know, Tinsel Worm, was it?
Tinsel Worm, yeah.
I went to that
right.
in Nottingham and watched them live. That was amazing. Watching that, yeah.
I've watched the first half hour of this, just one of those, I'll put it on, make sure it works, and then I sat there chuckling, and I realised I better turn it off because I was watching it in bed, and Amy was asleep, and I'm laying there like,
It is
tee
brilliant.
hee hee. So I better
Wait, you
stop
expected to
because-
open up the DVD case and see like a pancake in there. So you're like, oh, I've been chipped! But
Someone just wiped their ass in it, and oh, Poundland,
He's
yeah.
clearly stoned when he does his stand-up. Well, I've heard that if you're stoned and you watch it, you enjoy it about 10 times more.
Oh, right,
stoner
okay.
things. Yeah, take some
Is
drugs
he-
and then watch it.
Is he a stoner? I
I
just
don't
think...
know.
Is that your recommendation? Hey
He's
kids.
just a strange musician and just loves all that. Yeah, just all that.
I think it's
crazy
just that
stuff.
some people develop
Humour,
that avant-garde
crazy
style,
stuff,
don't they?
yeah.
You know,
Kids,
just
don't take drugs.
yeah. Do weird
Or
stuff
if you
without
do,
drugs.
buy them from a reputable
Yeah,
dealer.
don't. Yeah.
Know your
Watch the
dealer.
way.
Make sure they've got
Buy
5
them,
stars
don't
on Amazon.
On the
He
old-
was going around on a trouser press when I watched him, all around the audience, giving people high fives.
Like,
Brilliant.
You probably like
Electrical.
Dylan Moran. I should
Yeah,
imagine,
because I love Black Puppets,
Yeah,
was
Black
awesome,
Puppets
yeah.
was
Yeah.
Because Dylan Moran was famously always pissed up, weren't he, when he...
Oh,
I think
he'd
that-
start off his show sober, then you just keep drinking
Yeah,
wine.
you
when
just
by
drink
the end
wine
of
all the
it,
way
he's
through
like,
it.
Do you think he gets drunk in the TV series probably as well? Because he
Probably.
plays that drunk guy.
I love that bit when
Plays
it was
that guy.
the one where it was like really hot and he goes in the
I know,
fridge
it's
and he's got a bottle of wine with a stick in it,
smash.
just smashes the glass off and just sits there.
I love
looking
the
at
piano
wine
recital.
volley, yeah.
Piano recital. Bill Bailey with the spoons on the strings.
Oh yeah, he's inside it. Yeah, I love that show.
He plays
So that was
drunk
my-
man very, very well.
He does play drunk man very well. yeah.
Amazing series. Did anybody get into Green? Was it Green Wing? Green Wing?
That was
I thought
alright.
that was
Was that like
amazing.
an
I really
English
enjoyed
version of
that.
Scrubs or something
Yeah.
like that?
I thought
bit
it was
darker,
yeah, more
yeah.
darker than Scrubs.
Oh,
yeah.
never really
I really enjoyed it. It's really good. It's
I was
really
kind of
good
hit and
show.
miss with it. I like people who was in it, but I thought the humour was a bit like, kind of, sometimes it was a bit too weird, and then sometimes
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a bit
it's
too
very
like,
strange. Yeah.
But yeah, I could dig it. I mean, it wasn't
I
too bad.
enjoyed it.
Now, Chud, when we came in earlier on today, off camera, before Mark turned up, we were talking about things that you've started to do the last couple of weeks, bringing in top 10 lists or
Top 14.
top 14 lists or top 10 lists and starting at the number 14. Have you managed to bring anything in this
I
week?
have. I've got a... Yeah.
So I was going to say, I've got
There was a
something in
choice of two-
reserve.
There was a choice of 2 lists, and I decided on this list because it's a quick fire one. We won't have to talk for hours.
Is it a word
and hours.
association?
No.
Everything going to be boobs?
I think out of this, Mark, you're probably gonna. No, I mean a
I
lot
thought
of
he
these
was going
films
to
are
say
no.
dislike him. more than anyone else.
No, I think
It's a
you're
recurring
gonna-
theme, isn't
It's
it?
been Angry Mark Day today.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the top 10. It's actually 10 worst American remakes of foreign movies. So
Ah,
I
right.
thought Mark's
Is
gonna
it a
be
list
all
of
over
every-
this
I'm going to like it and be angry.
Yeah,
So it's a list of every remake ever made.
virtually. So number 10, Bangkok Dangerous. Now I've never seen or
I
heard
didn't.
of it.
I've
No, not the
seen-
remake. I don't know if I've seen the
I
original
think
or
I've
not.
seen.
Oh, I'm not sure about that one.
I think it's a Nicolas Cage film.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Because there's been a couple of films that have come out as Bangkok.
There's a couple Nicolas Cage films.
He's like a Nicolas Cage one. He's like a hitman.
One of them had like
or
that Conan Stevens was
Hitman.
in one of the Bangkok films.
Yeah, no, I've seen that one.
I'm thinking because it was like Bangkok Adrenaline and something. There was quite a few that came out, so I don't know if I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Number 9, Taxi.
Yeah, we'd mentioned that before, haven't we? Yeah. I've not seen the remake.
Yeah,
It's like Queen Latifah in place of a French guy.
Yeah.
Just like...
Number 8, City of Angels. It's,
I've heard about this. That's Nicolas Cage as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Meg Ryan and
Because
No.
I
don't know that one.
Joe, I think do you subscribe on YouTube to Tested? Because I remember you mentioned about Adam Savage from the Mythbusters going to Comic-Con dressed up in the alien sort of space outfit. Well, Tested, they do a podcast which is Adam Savage. He's obviously part of the Mythbusters. He makes costumes and props and stuff, and he's done like a load of Star Wars gear. He's like mates with Guillermo del Toro and stuff like that. And they do. Him and the two other co-hosts, they do like a podcast, and they're always talking about that movie, saying like City of Angels is, or the original, I can't remember what the original is called, but saying like that's an amazing movie where, is it an angel comes down from heaven or something and befriends this like circus performer, but in that one
I don't think I've seen the original.
they just completely just changed the circus performer to like a brain surgeon or something. It's like, well, that's not charming at all, is it?
Nicolas Cage is supposed to be the angel, and
oh god,
I'll
have to look up the original.
I've heard the original is absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's
all
French or
these
German.
films are supposed to be amazing films apart from the remake. Number 7, The Tourist, which is actually Johnny Depp.
I was going to say it's got Johnny Depp in it.
I didn't realise it was a
that one.
remake. To be
No,
honest.
I didn't know it was a remake.
Okay, yeah, so some of these are quite
I've never watched
obscure.
the remake. I don't know if I've watched the original either.
It's
I'm
all
doing
in
really bad today.
Italy, innit?
Oh, Mark,
I know, I'm usually all foreign films.
It's all in Venice, isn't it? The Johnny Depp one, innit? All filmed in Venice.
I don't think I've watched it.
Apparently, it did really well. Like, it got nominated for Golden Globes.
Yeah, it was
But
great.
people kind of panned it, so it's a bit strange. Number 6, One Missed Call, which is not something I've
I've not seen the remake. I've got the. I think I've got 2 of the originals.
I've seen the remake. I've never
The original
seen
was
the original.
Takeshi Miike.
Yeah, I've seen the American one.
You'd put it if you watch, if people who watch The Ring, you'd probably watch that. It's that kind of straight horror for a Takeshi Miike film. You basically you get a phone call and it turns out it's from your own number and it's a bit garbled and it's basically a recording of your last moments, and a few days after you get the call you die, and then the people have found they've all got a sweet in their mouth. It's like, what the hell's going on?
I've seen the
That makes sense.
American one.
If
It's
it's
not
missed
great.
call. What's it called? One missed call, one answered call.
The American
Surely if you
one's
miss the
not
call,
great.
then you don't hear the call and you don't die.
If you watch the film, it might make sense. It's been a while.
So I'm just pissing
It's been a
around.
while since I've
Yeah,
seen
the
it.
American one's not great.
I didn't see it. The American.
Number 5, Dinner for Schmucks, which I can't believe that was a remake.
Is that like
Yeah,
an old 40s one or something?
I quite like the
40s film.
remake.
No,
The original, I think it's like a really old
Steve
film.
Carell
Isn't it?
and
Paul Rudd.
yeah.
I quite mate from Fight the Conchords.
And was it
Jared.
who's the guys that are making you do things?
I didn't know it was a remake. I haven't seen it.
I'm not
Dinner for
sure.
Schmuck, the guy who's against who's at a fucking hangover.
Oh, Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
Dinner for Schmucks was one of those movies. Again, Mark's not gonna like it because it's sort of an American kind of quirky comedy. But I was a bit like,
Don't
I like
typecast me.
I like Steve Carell. He's quite funny, and Paul Rudd's amazing. Zach Galifianakis kind of hit and miss. And what's his name from Flight of the Conchords? Jared, what's his face?
Sorry, you're rattling. Joe was going to pick up on.
Rattling?
Yeah, you're
Jingling your balls.
You're going rattle, 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 and I thought the mic's going to pick that up. Anyway,
Number 4.
I was only doing that.
it was a rattle.
It's Rattle Shack.
Oh, it's not me.
It's rattle shaking.
It's not me. Well, that's rattling. You can hear that.
I can hear
Yeah.
it.
Clink, clink, clink.
Alright. I'm
Wow.
deaf and drumming.
Entertaining podcast.
Definitely drumming.
You can cut that.
Number 4, Get Carter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which Michael Caine was in both of them, wasn't he? He was in the remake.
Was
of
it?
the
Oh, I've not
original,
seen it. Was
yeah.
it Stallone the remake?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even watch it. Like, how's that going to work? From Michael Caine to Stallone.
Practically the same person.
Yeah.
Number 3, Death at a Funeral. It was a Chris Rock film. I thought it was a comedy film.
I've seen that.
Didn't know it was a remake again. I was
Don't
like,
know that one.
Not seen
I'm
the
not doing that
original.
well here at all.
Number 2, The Wicker Man. which is
I didn't see
Nicolas
the remake.
Cage's third appearance in this.
I didn't see the remake, but the original's
I've never seen the
classic.
original.
Yeah, it's
Of course I have.
Christopher Lee in a dress.
Yeah, of course.
What the fuck?
It's like Wisby. It's like Wisby. It's like,
It is, yeah, like a local.
yeah.
and number 1, Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
I was
fair.
quite shocked today. I was looking at some reviews for it on Amazon because I thought I'm going to put it on my wish list already, and there was a lot of people there.
What,
That
97 Godzilla? Jesus
no,
Christ, man.
not that. What the fuck? The new one.
I know you like shit movies, but god damn it.
The new one.
And you don't like Ricky Gervais.
Everyone who'd give it, well, the majority of people that give it 1 star's reviews were the people that liked the 98, 97 one.
Really?
Like,
People like that movie?
yeah, they're like, oh, this was shit. The other one was much better. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah.
I loved it when I was a kid. Thought it was amazing when I was a kid.
I didn't because I was
Went
old
cinema
enough
to
at that
watch
point to
Realise it was
be a
shit.
fan of the others, and yeah. I just dropped the piece
So
of
that's
paper.
this
Sorry.
week's top 10 list.
Make a noise, man.
Thank you. I'll drop my paper. Shut up. I'll drop a bit of paper and I've got notes on it because I've even got a story to tell this week as well.
Well,
A story to tell. Sit down, children.
yeah, come on.
Some of you
then.
go around by the fire.
Saw my picture on Facebook will know a bit of it. It's a story I call The Cat, the Jug and the Bat.
I thought you was going to say Mark and his missing testicle.
No, the testicles are fine.
Oh, thanks for
This is my nursery rhyme. My testicles are fine.
Anyway, I'm not a fan of cats. I think they're horrible little shitty animals, and people that own them are usually sad, pathetic wankers with no friends.
There you go.
Same. Hey, we agree on something.
Hey. I particularly don't like them. They get in the garden, they shit on the lawn. I can't let the kids go outside and play without first going on the fucking shit hunt. And anyway, I got in the kitchen the other day, and there's a fucking cat out there. I thought, right, I'm going to get a jug of water and chuck the water over the cat.
Did you pour-
He's gone
did
to
you pour the
he's gone
kettle
to my
first?
shit. No, I didn't have time for that one.
Jesus Christ, not animal cruelty. You scare off.
Just cold water. He's just sprayed on my shed door, so I'm like, right, I'm going to get you little twat. Open the window, went to throw the water out the jug, and watched the jug go flying out of my hand, leaving the handle behind him like clenched fist. The cat ran like a motherfucker, I'll give it that, because it had a jug of water come flying at him. So obviously we've had to go out, get a new jug.
When people say
it's not that
throw a jug
interesting.
of water at their mug,
Yeah.
it don't mean you throw a jug of water.
I know that's not that interesting a story, but it will get
Special trip
better.
to Poundland for
Yeah, so that's where you was. You was Poundland and it broke.
Poundland jug. But that night, about 4:45 in the morning, the son had woke up, wanted his feed. I think Amy went and got the milk. I sat and then I'd done the feed. I'm sitting there, and I heard it sounded like a rustling of cloth, and I thought, oh, it's my daughter moving in bed. And suddenly she let out 2 screams, and they were proper terrified screams of fear. And I'm like, oh shit, what was that? I thought because I'd looked in on her, she was on the edge of her bed, and I thought she kind of slipped and maybe fell off, and that's why she'd screamed. And I'm feeding the baby, I couldn't get up, so the wife has got up. She's gone in there, and I've heard this like, oh! I'm like, what's going on?
Oh.
And she's come in, my daughter's come in, like, what? She's like, there's a bat in the house. I'm like, you what? Like, take the baby, I must deal with this.
I'm Batman.
Yeah, I've gone in my daughter's room, I'm like looking around, her windows are shut, I can't see anything, so I've turned around and it's just then flown in the room, done a couple of circuits and landed on her curtains, and then crawled round the back of them, thought, well, I'm going to have to catch this bat, I'll go and get my new jug. So I've gone downstairs, got my new jug, I'm armed and ready, and I'm looking around in the room, moved the curtains, opened the window, like, where the fuck is it? And I'm out the corner of my eye, I've seen movement, and it's then crawling on her duvet. So straight away, plop the jug
So
over.
you threw the jug at the
I
back.
just plopped the jug over it, slid the book on the other side. Nice as anything, took it in to show her to see if she was alright with it, and she loved it. She was disappointed the following night it didn't come back.
Ah.
Your door's badass.
But to get in through to her room, the only the only window open in the entire house was my bedroom window. It was coming through our room, got through the room with the ceiling fan going, and gone through the house and into her room.
That'd have been a pleasant
Without
surprise,
anyone
wouldn't it?
noticing until she'd woke. I think maybe Amy turning on the lights to go and get the baby's milk had disturbed it.
Yeah.
But it was nice as pie.
I think that would
Back then,
fucking
give a
freak
shit.
me out though, having that like in my room.
I can understand,
Crawling
'cause
across
she-
the fucking quilt or something.
I was just flying around. She's just woke up and seen this thing flying around and gone like, ah!
As you would.
And now she's named him Flappy.
Flappy.
So we're hoping Flappy the Bat will return
Not
because my
Bruce.
daughter loved him. Bats are now her favourite
I thought
animal.
that's what we call your balls, Flappy.
Flappy? What
Because they're all flappy now, you got no balls.
do you mean they're all Flappy?
What were they before?
Yeah.
Because you got them removed.
I don't know,
It's not a fucking unit.
I wasn't castrated.
Close enough.
At the vet.
Ain't close enough. And a couple of tubes snipped and rearranged. I didn't have it
Rearranged.
completely removed from my
Red one, blue
Yeah.
one, green one. Shit, I don't know.
It's on the hurt locker. Yeah.
And now when I ejaculate, orange juice comes out.
Sparks come out. Orange juice.
Fireworks.
If you can ejaculate Nutella, you'd be very popular amongst the ladies, I think.
Comes out the other end.
Oh!
Ah,
Put it
Joe.
boom.
But a bum.
Oh, lower the tone, why don't you?
But that's the first time I've ever had a bat in the house, ever.
Yeah,
I've
I've
never
I'm
heard
quite
of
a-
that
no.
before. People
I'm
were.
quite
I will
annoyed. I've had to
say-
wait 40 years to get a bat in my house.
Yeah.
My daughter's only had to wait 5.
We'll say when I used to live around your way, we heard them all the time.
Yeah, I've seen them
when I
flying
lived
around the
Cherry
house.
Road and that. All
I've
the
seen a
time.
couple flying around and I've even said to my daughter, we've got bats outside. Look, one day maybe I'll be able to show you them.
Yeah.
Didn't quite mean like that. But,
Yeah.
Oh, my girlfriend gets really excited because she's never seen a bat, and then when I lived out Parson Drove, out in the fields, we used to get a lot of bats around the garden. They just circle.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're looking on the floor, for food now. And she was ever so excited. First time ever seeing a bat, she still gets excited.
There's
now.
a zoo
She's
called
25.
There's a zoo called Shepworth, and they've got like a tunnel with bats in it that you can walk in, and they're all flying around in there as you walk through it. So you can just when she went through it, she loved it. Put her arms out, hoping a bat would like roost
They
on her.
don't do
I'd
that.
put
But they fly so close, you can not me feel them swishing past my hair, obviously, but you can feel them like
Past your beard.
past
I'd
the
put my
beard.
Batman suit on and walk really
You
slow.
always see that in
and
the
then
films
fly
when people got bats and they're banging into them.
Yeah,
They won't do
bang
that. The sonar's too good. I
They
guess.
know what's what.
They're not blind.
But there you go. That's the story of the cat, the jug, and the bat.
The cat, the jug, and the bat. It almost sounds like a nursery rhyme,
I was
doesn't
going to
it?
say, sounds like a story, doesn't
Some
it?
of my nursery rhyme from like fucking, I don't know, Wes Craven or something.
What's Craven does.
See, when you posted the picture of the bat on Facebook and you put your little story with it, you didn't include the cat and the jug.
No, I didn't put the prequel.
I was like, that just sounds like an origin story. Like your daughter's going to grow up to be like Batgirl or something,
Yeah, because you were kind of implying that I'm going to get killed.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't go to the opera, so I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, any origin story, the parents have got to get, knocked off because you've got to feel sympathy for the character, and then your daughter's going to grow up to be a badass crime fighter.
And then it will turn out
Be a
later
Superman.
on, I wasn't killed, I had to go into hiding. Because of some amazing invention I'd made.
Yeah, a jug.
The jug, yeah. I invented
I invented a handle!
Yeah.
I've come back to avenge my own death with this jug I bought from Poundland.
Jug man.
Right, Mark, you've got kids.
Yes.
And from what I have encountered, you've got very, very nice children.
Thank you.
I can't say anything for Kai. I've not met him.
Oh, right, okay, well, we'll have to
I met
rectify
him
that
briefly.
I've not
then.
met
Actually, yeah, go on, I've got a bone to pick with Chud in a bit regarding
But,
my children. So
but
we'll get to
Erin-
that.
I've not.
But I've met Erin a few times, and she is a darling, and we even bonded a couple of times over
I think
some...
we'd all play Guitar Hero together.
That's
didn't
right,
we?
that's right.
Yeah.
But some kids can be little shits, can't they?
Yeah.
So I just thought this man in this particular story deserves a medal of some sort. The title is called "Man Buys 23 Burger King Apple Pies to Spite a Small Child." Just that in its own.
I think I know where it's going already.
And apparently, this guy was waiting in line in front of a mother and child, and the kid was a little shit, screaming, basically, just shouting at the top of his lungs, wanting, Burger King. He wanted an apple pie apparently, and the kid was sort of quoted to say was, "I want a fucking pie," And if you've got a little shit behind you, like saying that, what would you do, Mark?
Buy all the apple pies.
I don't know.
That is exactly
That's what I
what this
was
gentleman
thinking,
did. He so the gentleman goes up to the counter and he's like, "Okay, how many apple pies have you got left?" So the guy behind the counter is like, "Oh, we've got 23 pies." So he goes, "Okay, I'd like 23 apple pies, please." And then obviously walks past the little kid with all his apple pies, and then the mother and kid go up to the counter and they're like, "I want an apple pie," and they're like, "Sorry, we just sold out." As the bloke's walking out, it's like, my Burger King apple pie. Yeah.
That's actually
I
pretty
just
good.
thought
Being
that's-
Britain, I'd have just looked at the parent in disgust and tutted.
Yeah.
Being British. Yeah.
I'd have looked at the kid,
Okay.
emptied my box of apple pies on the floor and then trod on them fucking on the floor.
Or if they weren't really hot, just like start rubbing them on yourself and
Yeah.
stuff.
Just shoveling them in.
You want a pie? Eat off a the floor, you little shit!
Yeah.
Probably would if it's a little shit like that.
Yeah, that's
I just
excellent.
thought I'd bring that
I like
story and just to lightens
That's quite
everybody's
fun.
mood and make everyone feel
Oh, that's
good.
good, that.
And especially you, Mark, for not having a little shit
Oh, thank
kid.
you. I'll tell her that. Shaun says you're not a little shit. Good on you. But Chud, my complaint. You've actually picked favourites with my children because you haven't bought anything for Kai, but you actually bought something for my daughter. I'd completely forgotten. We've kept it apparently as well. But Jamie had found it. You bought her a little vest sleepy suit thing from Universal when you went. Apparently, you'd gone to the States and you came back and got her a little pink vesty thing with Universal Studios on it.
I'm quite confused there, Chud.
I think I made. That's
Yeah, I'd completely forgotten. And Amy was like, "Oh, I found the thing that Chud bought." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, you bought her in a." I'm like, "Oh yeah, shit, I'd forgot."
that was.
So you've picked favourites with my children.
Oh, shit! I gotta go out and buy something for Kai.
It's multi-purpose, you know, when Kai grows into it.
Pink.
You know, I totally.
So what does that say?
I
You
do.
made-
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
That would have been what, 2009?
Yeah. You got me a Goodfellas poster.
Yeah, because when she was born, yeah.
Can you remember that? Give me a Goodfellas poster.
Yeah, I'd completely forgot. So cheers for that. I mean,
Just like in my
completely
bedroom.
forgot. I was like, "Oh, that was really good of him." And we were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, man."
And me and Chud are meant to be best friends. What did he get me?
Herpes?
Fuck all.
No.
I don't remember buying gifts for anyone. I'm gonna fucking be honest.
Still in my bedroom. Goodfellas poster, a little one.
I got a news story as well.
A new or news?
News. You've done a news story.
Oh, yeah, well, you know.
I've got a news story about a suicide by decapitation.
Yeah.
This is a guy. This is in Hampshire, England. There was a guy who'd done a protest. His apartment building was going to be demolished for redevelopment, and he'd refused 11 offers of alternative accommodation.
Yeah, I read this.
11 times they'd asked him to move. He refused, and this 50-year-old man called David File decided the best way to deal with this was to commit suicide by cutting off his own head with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Nice!
I read that. That was fucking.
That's a
horrible.
bit drastic,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm not sure the details of how you can't saw your own head off. Surely you'd have to.
Depends how sharp
Lay
the
on
chain.
it.
There is
Well, surely
Run
you,
at
could,
it?
surely you could grab the chainsaw and just be like,
Run
right,
at
you know,
it.
get a bit of momentum, start swinging your hips, and then just go right 1, 2, and then just whip it off, you know, and hopefully the momentum will literally not get stuck in your neck.
I
And,
suppose if you're laying down, probably I don't know how it's. And
You'd
then you
wedge
fall
it
on
the wall
it.
and then run up.
Yeah, but after you die or whatever, you sort of, I don't know, fall on it. Won't you? The blade's going to.
That's an extreme way to kill yourself, though.
There's pictures supposed to be online already of it. And
If
the
you find any links.
I read there's someone put a link up the other day.
Oh, right,
I read
I'll
a
have a
thing also that someone said in his whatever career or of doing like the forensic whatever it is that he's never ever come across anything as bad as that in his life. He said, well, all the years
That's a bit
he's
nuts.
worked,
Just
it's
like
terrible.
I'll take some pills and some booze and.
Yeah.
But no. His
At
statement.
least he switched the chainsaw on. That would have been a death if he didn't. Wouldn't it?
Hacking
Not fucking
away
working.
at himself for hours.
Not working. I think.
That is horrific.
Don't want to live anywhere else. My neck. Yeah.
but what I don't get is like, why would you resort to committing suicide
Yeah.
if you really wanted to live in that building? It's like, what, it's death, it's that building or death. It's
Yeah.
like, they're quite sort of drastic things. You've probably got like better offers to live somewhere else.
And if
or...
he's 50, he's only like halfway, almost, just over through his life. So
Was he going, mummy, I want a fucking new house? Like with the apple pies.
I don't know. It's a bit weird.
Mummy, I
But
want
the
to
whole
change.
the whole thing is a bit odd.
Yeah.
Seems a bit drastic. But if you say there's pictures, I'll have to have a look.
Yeah, they say there are.
No
But that's the
masturbating.
internet.
Ah.
That's the internet. Though. Oh, damn it.
This took a turn for the worse. Let's lighten up the mood a little bit, shall we? Chud, you had a top 10 list of movie remakes. I've gone in a slightly different direction, and I've got, let's see, a top...
17?
Top 17, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
got
I want to make sure, because I don't want to be like, here's a top 10, number 17. Yeah. I want to start from the right number, but we'll start from number 1 and we'll go upwards. These are 17 restaurants with the most brilliant names ever.
Okay.
So, you come across a restaurant and it's got really quite a cool name that sort of fits in with them kind of...
So I've just seen the first
yeah,
one
the
already.
kind of food that they serve. So I'm not sure where this is, but they've got a decent sense of humour, and I'm guessing they sell something of a pastry kind of
bakery goods.
Yeah,
Of it.
it's called Bread Zeppelin.
I like that.
It's quite good, and I'm guessing this is a Turkish establishment. It's called Peter Pan. Yeah.
I prefer Bread Zeppelin.
This is quite a good one. Obviously Thai cuisine. They've called it Thai Tanic.
Yeah. Okay.
Number
I don't know if
4.
that'd make you want to eat there though.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I don't know, that word's not had a good track record, has it?
Don't know. Made like a
A
movie.
failed journey, shit film.
Number 4, Custard's Last Stand,
Oh,
which I'm
terrible.
guessing is like a dessert diner or something like that. But here's a good one. Lord of the Wings.
Lord of the Wings.
I like that one.
This is...
Stop peeking over his shoulder.
Chud's cheating. There's actually a Chinese restaurant in Stamford, not too far away from where we live, called this. Think Aerosmith, think Run DMC, think
I know this one, yeah.
Walk This Way.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I thought that was quite good. I didn't really get this next one. The caption says, I bet Abbott and Costello love this place. It's called Who's on First Asian Bistro. Do you get that one?
Who's in first? I know who Abbott and Costello were, but...
Yeah.
Some
We'll skip
Okay.
that one. Number 8,
We're too
which
young
is
for
a particular favourite. I alluded to this earlier when I was talking to Chud. It's, I guess they do like grilled cheese sandwiches and all sorts of stuff like that, and it's called the Grillenium Falcon.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Here's one. They've actually got one not too far away from where we live.
Yeah.
A fish and chip shop called the
Yeah.
Codfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a similar vein, but slightly darker, Frying Nemo.
Frying Nemo.
It's a little bit sad.
Yeah. Go, fish.
Mine.
Number 11, in a similar vein to Lord of the Wings, this is Lord of the Fries.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. A particular favourite of mine. Anyone eaten Vietnamese food before?
No.
They often call it like faux cuisine, PHO.
Yeah.
I went to one in America called Faux 77. This one's called Faux Shizzle. I did quite like that one.
Oh, that's really good.
We've got number 13, Just Falafs. I guess it's falafel,
yeah.
but yeah. There's a cheese place called Udder Delights.
Just like you're going to get breasts in that place. Or something.
Number 15.
Nodding his head.
That's like my kind of place.
Number 15, I'm guessing they sort of a Lebanese establishment. This is Lebanese Scrooge. So quite inventive,
clever,
actually.
yeah.
Number 16, Vietnamese again, with the faux kind of thing. This one's 9021 Faux.
That is
Beverly
terrible.
Hills, yeah.
yeah.
Anything like that. And number 17, they've saved the best till last. It's not technically the name of an establishment, but it's one of the boards that they've got coming, and it says, Breakfast is coming. Game of Scones.
Very good. I like that.
Yeah, I thought there's some good ones on there, and I do love a good pun every now
I
and
did
again.
see, if I told you earlier, I heard one that's like, I think it was a carvery, and it was called Hello, Is It Meat You're Looking For?
Oh, God. I'm always disappointed that there isn't a Chinese called the Wan King, but... That was quite good. Yeah, the Grillenium Falcon, that was quite good.
Yeah, I
That's
think
one
that
of
was
the best
a
ones.
particular favourite of mine. Before we get out of this place, has anyone got any topics they'd like to talk
Oh, I've got
to?
one on a slightly sombre note. Just another famous horror actor or actress in this case has passed away. Marilyn Burns, at the age of 64 or 65, it seems a bit unclear. She played Sally in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and she's recently passed away.
Yeah.
Caroline Williams, who obviously we're all kind of fans of,
Yeah.
she posted a really. If I can get a link to you and we can put it on, I'll find it.
Yeah.
She sent a link to a piece that Bill Moseley, who obviously was in the second Texas Chainsaw film, he played Chop Top. He wrote a bit about her, and it's really, really well written. I read it and I was like, wow, I didn't know he was this good a writer, because it was a kind of a personal piece, I think. So
Okay.
yeah, that was kind of like a.
I've heard also Robert Englund is hanging up his Freddy Krueger makeup. He's not doing that no more.
I don't think that. I don't think they were going to do
That's what I've heard.
more of that really.
He's not going to. Well, you don't want to wear it in like at all, like at any conventions or anything.
Actually, that did remind me of
Not
something else I
embedded.
did watch that he was in. I forgot to put on my list. I watched The Mangler again.
That's a good film.
I actually quite
I
like
really,
that.
I
It
really
seems-
like that. You stupid women.
I'm trying to convince Joe to watch. Jack Monster Slayer.
Yeah,
You remember that?
yeah, it's a good film.
You brought it into work.
Oh,
Jack
I
Brooks.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, fucking
It's
film's
on
awesome.
Netflix. And
I've got
Joe
a DVD.
the caption picture is not like too flattering. I said no, it's really fucking
It is really good, yeah. It was one of those like should have been a franchise.
Yeah.
They could have so easily done more films.
Are we? Do we need homework for next week?
That's
or
what I
not?
was just about to mention. I say as we start wrapping this thing up, we can get into the rhythm of homework once more. Mark, you mentioned quite a few movies earlier on today. Is there any you'd like to set for anybody here?
Giving me
I'm
Ray
pretty
two,
sure your
so-
homework's going to be
I've
Guardian.
given you Ray 2,
So
yeah.
I'll do.
Why don't you give us two? One out your list.
I
Us two
would
out
have
your
said
list.
I saw The Devil. Then again, Chud just mentioned Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer.
Right.
So if you've not seen that,
No, I've
I
not
don't know.
seen.
I don't know
It's
if
on
you like it or
Netflix.
not though. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a
if,
question mark for sure.
It's a bit like.
Watch it. It's, I really enjoyed it.
I like
it's
it
good
as well.
film.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
I don't trust you guys though. But yeah, as it's in the spirit of homework, I'll check it. Jack the.
Jack Brooks
Jack
Monster
Brooks,
Slayer,
Monster.
innit?
Slayer, Monster Hunter, yeah.
So
So I've got it on
Slayer, I
DVD
think.
if you can't.
Yeah,
I've got it in.
Yeah, I mean, it is on Netflix. If you just type in like Monster or something like that, it'll come up.
Sure, with Jack Brooks, it'll pop up. won't
Yeah.
it?
Okay, I shall take that on and.
I think it was from our chums over at who are the guys who done Big Ass Spider who released Epic Pictures. I think it's
Okay.
one of their releases.
All right, yeah, that sounds alright. And then Joe, what do you fancy watching?
Avatar.
Anything out your anything out your list? If
Have you seen I Saw the Devil?
No.
Do you want to give that a shot?
Yeah.
I think you'll quite like that.
And Mark, as you're gonna head to the cinema this Wednesday to watch Guardians, you can watch Guardians.
Do you want to give me something as homework as well? Because I'm going to watch Guardians regardless. If you want to give me something that...
Well,
I don't know what we're talking
what the
about.
hell are you doing, boy?
Oh no, we can give it.
Well, I
Cemetery Junction.
well, I just figured as we're going to be chatting about Guardians,
Oh, no, I'm not watching something with Gervais in it. Come on, you got to draw a line somewhere.
I just figured as we're going to be chatting about Guardians anyway, it's a bit like, you know, not to chat about sort of too many things in length.
Okay.
You know, we can all sort of join in with that as well.
So what I will do, because I haven't got round to watching those bad films I picked up from the car boot,
yeah,
the ones that I
from-
picked up on a whim because they look shit, I will watch one of them.
All right
There
then.
we go.
Okie dokie. So that winds down volume 21 of the Chap Skip podcast. Thank you so much for checking in and joining in with us here on a Friday, which is when we normally post the podcast. Whenever you're listening to it, feel free to get involved by posting a comment down below or tweeting us on @ChapterSkip or checking out our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ChapterSkip. All the links and other such business is in the description below. And it just leaves me to say, on behalf of ChapterSkip, I'm Shaun.
I'm Chuddles.
I'm Joe.
Chuddles. And I'm still Mark.
And we'll catch you guys again next time.